and welcome to the Business Leaders Breakfast Series. Today I have with me Mayor Statham of Lithgow. How are you, Mayor Statham?
Well, thank you, Rachel. How are you today?
I'm very well, thank you. Thank you so much for being here today, and congratulations on your appointment as Mayor for the second time. Is that correct?
Yes, that is correct.
Wonderful. So you were appointed Mayor of Lithgow late last year. For those that don't know, can you tell us a bit about yourself?
Oh, I've been on council for 10 years.
Yes.
And started hairdressing in 1969 and celebrate 50 years in business next year.
That's amazing. As I said to Maree, do you mind if I call you Maree?
No, not at all.
So I said to Maree, she must have started a business when she was 1 and looking very glamorous.
No, I love my trade and I started teaching etiquette after the loss of my husband. And then
Very
council,
sorry to hear that.
Yes, thank you. Yes, a great loss in my life and a tragic way to die. So it's been
very sorry to hear that,
yes.
Maree. We were just discussing earlier, I've also suffered a tragic way to die. It's a lot to live with, isn't it? And I think that's what this podcast is about at times, hearing about, the real person behind these roles, and I'm terribly sorry to hear
Yes, well, my husband was the only man in my life and he had died of medical negligence. So it's taken me 14 years now, and some days it feels like yesterday.
Yes.
And I don't know whether Bob would think that I was crazy doing what I'm doing, but I know my dad, who had 40 years in local government, would really, sort of say, stay with it.
Yes.
It'll turn around eventually.
And he'd be proud of you.
My mum is, and she's 93, so it's been...
93. What a blessing. And I think it's really important, and you would find this as well, to stay active, stay connected, stay positive, stay involved. It's really good for your own mental health as well.
Oh, absolutely. I think our mental health is everything. If we're healthy mentally, we can cope with a lot of things. And I think through COVID and all the stress of all the disasters that our town has suffered in our areas and
yes.
and our neighbouring areas has it's taken a toll on a lot of people.
That's right. Tell us about your journey to the top job. What got you into politics and why did you want to be mayor?
Well, I never dreamt of being mayor. That's something that I hadn't ever considered, and that's the actual truth. I started in 2012. Some businessmen asked me to run for council, and I worked hard to get onto council, but didn't really know that I would. There was 47 contestants.
Wow.
Yes, and then I was put in the mayoral position that night of the mayoral election, so quite daunting.
That's amazing. You ran for council and you were immediately elected mayor. Congratulations, that's fantastic.
Yes, it was...
It's a credit to your reputation in the community and everything you've done.
I genuinely love our community and will fight for what I think is right, and I'll also fight to keep this local government area alive and have a vision for its future. And then moving forward into then, there was a bit of a coup in 2016, and I then didn't give up, but there was a lot of things happened in my life at council, which I'd rather not talk about. Very challenging times.
Right.
However, I've come out on top because of the community. I feel that they've given me the courage to keep fighting. And last year I bought a new car and a new phone, never dreaming I would be mayor. And then at the 11th hour, yes, I was mayor again.
Mayor again. What a credit to you.
Oh, I think it was the public that had the faith in me and
my
team.
Seems like a very supportive community here in this local government area.
Yes, it is. Our whole local government area, every part of it, I love. I enjoy going around to the different little villages as well as our 3 main towns, and Port Lithgow and Lithgow, and I think it's something you couldn't do if you worked full time.
Yes.
I've devoted my life to council now, and of course my salon. So I work, some days for a couple of hours, some days 3 hours, some days no hours.
Yes.
Because
so that flexibility.
Yes, and it's home based, so it's great, and my clients are fantastic.
That's wonderful to hear, Maree. I'm just going to pause for a second. I'm going to edit this part out. I just wanted to double check that we are. Yep. Describe a day in the life of the Mayor of Lithgow.
Oh, with or without council in my life?
With council in your life.
Okay. Usually about 6:30 I start doing emails.
In the morning, 6:30 in the morning.
Yeah, well, I have a farm to look after as well.
A farm?
Yes.
Wow, on your own?
My daughter and I do that. Yes,
amazing.
Cattle. So I usually start about 6:30 in the morning, updating emails and looking at any correspondence coming in through my own home address to do with council. Then it's sort of either usually into the salon by 8 o'clock, usually finishing there around 11, do whatever I have to do around home and then come into Lithgow. Every day is different. It depends on what's on for council, what functions are on, what events are on and what meetings are proposed.
And you come every day?
I come to council Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Friday every week.
It's a big commitment for the mayor. Like, for those of you that don't know, whilst the mayor has a huge and instrumental role in the facilitation of council, not all mayors come every day, you know. A lot of them have full-time jobs, so it's massive, Maree.
Thursday's my nanny Ree looking after day with my little grandson.
Oh, you're a grandmother!
Yes, so they live at the Rocks. So I go and get Max of a Thursday when there are events on, or meetings, and bring him here. And he's used to doing it. My little granddaughter
that's
used
lovely.
to do that as well.
How old is he?
He's 2.5.
Oh, wow, and you bring him here into the office.
And
he's
functions.
good.
Yes.
My 2-year-old would not be good doing that, so well done.
So far he's been great. He's been to quite a few functions with me.
Yes.
And I think he's been good. If the wheels could fall off at any moment.
And again, it just shows that, you know, you're the mayor of Lithgow, but you're also a human being. You're a grandmother.
Love being a grandmother.
That's why my mum does too, because she can hand them back at the end of the
That's
day.
right.
She's got 4 at the moment while I'm in Lithgow. Lithgow is moving on up. I hadn't been here for so long, but I must commend you on how beautiful the city is looking, how tidy. You've got a big arts and culture scene happening, so many events. Can you tell us about where Lithgow is at the moment and where are you headed?
Look, we've just had our biggest Halloween, and I don't like Halloween.
Looked fantastic.
It was fantastic. I like to call it a big dress-up party.
Yes.
It's proving to be now on the calendar of a lot of people throughout New South Wales.
Yeah, it looked bigger and better than ever this year, and the costumes were phenomenal.
Yes, it was a great function, great event for Lithgow. We had lots of other events during the year. However, I think with COVID, it's sort of changed everyone's life.
Yes.
I think moving forward into the future, we need to keep those people, like the families and that, they need something to go and something to do.
Absolutely.
I think we need to make sure that we keep the young ones involved with things. And I actually did a showgirl judging the other day, and all the girls there were all different from different parts of LGA. They all attended Halloween.
Oh, isn't that lovely?
Yeah, I was quite shocked.
Yeah, and I noticed a few people from Orange, where I'm from, attended as well. So I think you're getting that draw card from all around the state, really, aren't you? Yes,
it was great. It was excellent. And I think, you know, we're also doing a lot of things to, I guess, highlight our tourism. Our tourism is fantastic. I think it's probably the most underrated place for tourism.
I could not agree more. And having worked with RDA now for a year and delving into what all of our local government areas have to offer, I just had a previous podcast earlier today, and we were looking at, you know, we're talking about there's a fish pond, a trout, we can come fishing here, the glowworm tunnels, which I've always wanted to see. You're on the doorstep of Wollomai National Park.
Yes.
You've got the Capity Valley, is that what you call it?
Yes.
There's another brilliant place that they were talking about, which is called the Secret Creek.
Yes.
Is that right?
Yes.
And there's some really great things happening, some really great people starting these initiatives as well.
Well, we now would like to be known as the 7 Valleys.
Seven Valleys, I like that. Great branding.
I think you have to look forward to a branding that's going to be sustainable into the future, and we have 7 Valleys.
Love it.
So, you know, it's been very well accepted. I think a lot of people originally thought we're going to change the name Lithgow to 7 Valleys, but that's not it. It's like, you know, how people say I'm going to the Central West and they may be going to Orange. So it's working very well, and I think that's going to be a draw card into the future.
Definitely, I think that's wonderful branding. I love that very much. What are some of your biggest dreams and goals for the Lithgow LGA?
To remain sustainable into the future, without any doubt whatsoever. Naturally, as again, supporting tourism and developing that into the future. However, at the moment, like most councils, it's pretty tough financially.
Yes.
And I think our goal right now is to make sure that we have a successful, sustainable future. And to do that, we need to have a rate rise, and that's been very much discussed.
Heard some chit chat about the rate rise,
Yes, and we've done a lot of collaboration with the community. We've had lots of community, I guess, go out and speak to the community and hear what they've got to say and listen to the people.
Absolutely.
I think we're very blessed that 42% of our electorate have voted for the rate rise.
That is
amazing.
And everyone needs to chip in,
yes,
especially at these, at this point in time. Do you mind if I ask, Maree, what is your average quarterly rates amount?
Well, at the moment we're going to go to 26.7 or 27.2%, I think it is.
Yes.
The average, what that will mean for people living in a normal size block in Lithgow or Lerrowing or Portland is about $3.70 to $4.20 a week.
Okay.
Which is very sustainable for a family, I think, really.
Definitely.
And we're certainly behind the 8 ball with rates. I've done a lot of research on it. We've had an analysis come in and an economist.
Yes.
And he's been doing amazing work with the general manager and senior finance staff. And I've had my eyes really opened up as to how, how little some people were paying. So now we've broadened that out and made, we've expanded what would normally be our rate base now into a worthwhile, professional decision. Yes. And that's going to benefit our town.
That's what a lot of people don't realise when these decisions are made. It's not just councillors sitting around a round table. There are so many external consultants, economists, as you said. These decisions have to go back, be approved by other levels of government and things like that. So it's really so well considered, isn't it?
Yes, I think, and we don't know that that's going to occur yet. It comes to council next month. There's a lot of things to take into consideration. Yes. Or actually next week, as a matter of fact. However, that's one way of making sure that we can be sustainable into the future.
Absolutely.
So at the moment, that would be on the top of my list.
Okay, fantastic, Maree. What makes Lithgow such a great place to live, and what's the community like here?
Excellent community.
Yes, it seems like it.
All through our local government area, we are really blessed. We've got the most amazing lot of volunteers, Rachel. If you go to a garden meeting, there's about 80 or 100 there. If you go to a view club, there's 120. If you go to Quota, there's about 120. It's fantastic.
That's amazing.
I'm so proud of them. Some of them wear 2 or 3 hats.
Definitely.
But I'm very proud of the way the community get together and organise fundraising events for people less fortunate.
Yes.
And I think the main thing with our area is that when there's a crisis, we're all backing each other.
I love
which
that.
is, it's all politics disappear and people start thinking, well, look, this is what's happening, let's get in and help. So, I think that
great
comes
community
from
spirit
all around the local government area.
Definitely. Sounds like a wonderful place to live. And as I said, just the beauty of Lithgow this morning, all the flowers around. Was it the Uniting Church? The
Hoskins Church.
Oh, it's absolutely beautiful. And all the beautiful old architecture and the funky cafes, and there's so much happening. Can you update us on any big projects or events happening in Lithgow for 2023?
Well, I think without doubt our biggest project right now is the Walgman Road.
Yes.
We have the road's closed at the moment.
And was that closed due to recent flooding and rainfall? Or was that sort of the tail end of something that was already faltering?
Yes, there was already a land slippage.
Okay.
And then they got drones and very specialised equipment and professionals in. And when the second one occurred a week ago, last Monday, it's been a difficult time because people didn't know that it was going to occur. So they were out doing their thing during the day, and some children were at school, some people were out of the valley shopping, and some people were away out on the river. So full credit to council. They straight away got 4-wheel drives, and Green Spot also has allowed us to use one of their 4-wheel drives. And last Tuesday, the general manager and myself and Jonathan Edge from Head of Engineering took a trip down there on the old fire trail, the old Coach Road. Very interesting trip.
Yes.
No, it was
bit hairy.
Yes, it was a little bit hairy, and it's it's a fire trail, so it wasn't in excellent condition. However, the first probably 20 kilometres was really good, very good.
Yes.
And then we come across, it's quite an ordeal. It's something that unless you're a 4-wheel drive person, you would not even stand a chance.
I've been 4-wheel driving before and I don't like it. I don't like that at all. So
no, I probably like my 2 feet on the ground.
Yes,
as well.
Me too. So you're upgrading the road.
Yes.
And this is into the Walgman Valley. And so the Walgman Valley is also home to the 7-Star Resort, is that correct?
Yes, that's correct.
And do they have their own private access road?
At the moment, the temporary road commenced yesterday. Yes. So in 1 week, we've been able to manage all the phone calls, the general manager and the people from the Emirates, the one and only, and everyone. We've got together and we had a big meeting down there last week. Since then, we've had Public Works involved, which is, I can't thank them enough. It's
So
been
this is
amazing.
their only access road to that resort as well?
That's correct.
Wow,
At the
okay,
moment.
yeah.
So and they have a wedding there very soon, and they're very desperate to have the road done. Now there's a temporary road being built near the donkey steps, and it commenced yesterday. If we have
Congratulations
good
on the speed of all of this.
Yes.
That can't have been easy, planning for that.
Lots of phone calls, lots of people
Yes.
getting together and working as one, a collaborative effort without any doubt
the
between
teamwork.
council and the people in the valley. Seeing them face to face makes you realise exactly what they're going through.
Yeah.
Zoom meetings are one thing.
Very hard.
Face to face, I came away thinking how blessed we are that we haven't had this before to this extent.
Yes.
And I've given them my word via an email that we are there 100% for them. So now we have a little cavalcade going down twice a day, which can bring people out of the valley.
Yes.
Hospital appointments, personal shopping, doctor's appointments or whatever, and then they go back in the afternoon. So we've been taking fuel and food down, and
Wow.
I'm so proud of the council staff that are doing this. They're the silent achievers behind the scenes.
Yes.
And then we have an absolute guru from Public Works. He's directing what's going on down there, and it's commenced. So each day I'm going to get a little update and give the people down there an update.
That's so good.
Because people just, it's like when we lost the gas.
I know,
That's
between
really
this and the gas, you've had a very busy and challenging time lately.
And I think we're up to about 6 natural disasters.
6
12
natural disasters in 12 months.
So
I'm very sorry to hear that.
it is very challenging. However, the community embrace, I think they probably don't embrace change that much, but they embrace the fact that everyone's doing their best.
Yes.
And we're working as teams and
That's
trying
great.
to get things.
So you generally find the community of Lithgow very supportive of council?
I think
On social media and things, like you generally find that people are very supportive?
I think the Facebook at the moment, not that I do Facebook at the moment, I put on one good story a week and whatever else is the truth from council so people get the right information. Look, it's throughout New South Wales we have bad roads. And
That's
certainly
right.
Lithgow is amongst that, and we actually identified that a long time ago. We're doing our best.
So
Like every
is your best.
local government area, I met people at the local government conference that are saying, we're desperate to get some good road work done. But with the rain, you don't get time to dry out the potholes before they have to do them, and then they're amazing.
Well, that's right. I know sometimes I look at the complaints within my own community of Orange, and I think, if we have some potholes, yes, but if that's the largest thing everyone's complaining about, then how lucky are we?
Yes,
do you know what I mean? So I think you've got to take that positive attitude. What do you think is the biggest challenge that Lithgow faces as a city right now, and how do you see that being overcome? If you've already touched on that, that's totally fine too.
Oh no, look, I think diversifying away from the coal industry. The coal industry has kept us going for decades. And
how many people does that currently employ?
Look, I don't know the exact answer to that, but I would think probably close to 1,000.
Wow, okay.
I think so, with
very
Clarence
large.
Mine and Springvale and Airlie. I don't think I'd be exaggerating too much there. It's something that's happened very quickly.
It has happened very quickly.
Yes. You think that you're going to plan ahead and that, renewables will be probably in 10 years' time. I believe we're in the transition now.
Yeah.
So as a general manager and senior staff,
yes,
we can see changes dramatically happening, like occurring with batteries, pumped hydro. A lot of ideas that are coming forward with solar panels. I think now we're really starting to get into that transitioning period, and not many in town would like it. There'll be more people want to continue with coal mining.
Oh, absolutely, but eventually we will all be forced to.
Yes, that's right. So at the moment, we've all become more environmentally friendly. I know I have.
Yes, myself.
Definitely. Yes.
I'm actually holding. Everyone can have a laugh at this. It's a piece of core lightweight recyclable board. There's a lovely man in town here in Lithgow, Martin, who's doing some wonderful things with this, with concrete and also display stands. One of my biggest hates, Maree, is the pull-up banners, because if there's anything printed on them that is a date, they have to go to landfill for the next year, whereas something like this can be completely recycled. So and Lithgow's going very green, which I'm very happy to see.
Yes, and I think that's what we've got to look forward to, that we know what the problem is. We have to, Mount Piper will cease to exist in the fairly near future. the coal mines are going to be closed ahead of them if everything goes according to what their plans are. So we have to think, what are all those people going to do
That's
when
right.
their positions are no longer? We have to look into the future and project ways that we can now become a renewable area, which then will create industry, which then will give development. And
Yes.
I don't want people to have to move here away from this area.
That's right. So job opportunities, that's
Yes.
right. So that is a big challenge, and I'm sure it's something that you can definitely overcome, especially with your wonderful team that you've got on board at the moment. But
Hopefully.
it's little by little, and just
Yes.
keep looking into the future. I do notice a lot of development going on in Lithgow. My brother owns a construction business, and I know he's always, I'm driving back from Lithgow. No, I can't do that. I'm in Lithgow today, you know. So there's a lot happening, and even on the outskirts of town, some brilliant, beautiful properties, and so much happening. Do you have a role model, past or present?
Oh, my mum. She's
Mum.
93. I think my role model would be my mum.
Yes.
Yeah, she got an OEM for her service to the community
Oh, isn't
a
that
few years
beautiful?
ago.
Does she still live at home?
She lives at home on the farm by herself.
Wow.
Yes.
What a credit to her.
And I think she, obviously you have role models through your life,
Yes.
male and female.
Mhm.
And perhaps I seem to mentor quite a few people, but over the years I've had people help me when I was really down and,
Yes.
you know, given me the courage to keep going. But
Absolutely.
mum seems to be there through thick and thin, and
No, that's beautiful.
always has the right advice.
Oh, isn't that lovely? She sounds like a very positive person.
Yeah, she
Sounds like
is.
you've got an incredible bond as well.
Yes, she's very bright, you know, intelligently, so that's
Yes.
a good thing.
And what is one of the best pieces of advice you've ever received from a previous mentor which has stayed with you and supported your career to date?
Oh, Mum, she says every time I see her, remember Maree, think a lot and say nothing.
Oh, I like that very, very much. My grandmother used to say, a still tongue is a wise tongue. Yeah, just you need to think before you speak. I really like that, Maree.
And I think really what we do have to do, because sometimes when you're in debate, it gets quite interesting.
Yes.
And you raise your voice, but that doesn't mean you're shouting. I mean, sometimes I think if you change the tone of your voice, it means that you're passionate. You want to get that message across.
Absolutely. My husband tells me that all the time. I don't like the tone of his voice. It's the passionate part, definitely.
Yes. So, you know, you can't always think a lot and say nothing, but thinking a lot before you engage, you know, what you're going to say is probably one of the things that I do very much try to do.
I really like that. How do you, when you've really thought about it, how do you overcome your fear of saying what you've thought about it, you've considered it? Does that affect your confidence to speak at all when you've got that in your mind, you know, to think a lot but say little? Does that make sense?
Oh, absolutely. And it's not until recently that I think through other wise people telling me, speak up. You don't have to shout out, but speak up.
Speak up.
Don't be scared, don't be intimidated. I had a very intimidating time for a few years in council, and I think for most of my term in council.
Wow.
And I think now you have to be honest to yourself. And we're elected by the public to do the best we can.
Absolutely, and that's what, you know, everybody's there, just a lot of people are there in a voluntary capacity. And I think it's something that I'm really proud of council industry organisations lately, is that, you know, this culture that you were speaking of, having a hard time and feeling intimidated, that's a culture that a lot of people are trying to change, a lot of industries. We have a beautiful associate at RDA Central West, Jessica Hickman. I'm not sure if you've heard of her. She runs workshops for all types of things, bullyology, and I had the pleasure of going to have one of those workshops recently, and I just love the whole, you know, that doesn't fly anymore. You don't intimidate people, you know, we're all here for the goodwill, you know, on a common ground. When you are not mayor, what does life look like for Maree Statham?
Oh, well, hairdressing, of course.
Yes.
Coaching etiquette, presentation and interview prep.
Yeah, I love that. We might have you on board. We have a new initiative called Central West Inspired Women. We're looking for educators and workshop facilitators. We'd love to have you sometime, Maree. I know even though my mother-in-law is a deportment coach, I could probably learn a lot. And is that something that you really enjoy?
Yes, I love it. I miss that because, you know, I can't be everything to all people.
Well, that's right.
So and I have a large garden which I love. So I feel that at the moment I'm still doing one-on-one courses and some workshops, but it's just started to take right off. But I'm enjoying my role as mayor.
Yes.
And I want to continue
Yes.
that. I do not want to not be able to accept invitations because I'm doing other things.
That's right. No, I completely understand that. It's about about balancing your time and prioritising and making sure you can do the best job you can.
Yes.
Sounds like you're doing such a great job, Maree. I've just heard so many positive things about you and how much the community loves you. So I asked someone this morning, I'm interviewing Maree Statham, Mayor Statham. Can you tell me a bit about, look, she's so loved, she's so well known.
I'll try.
It's very lovely. We have a thing at the end of each podcast called the Fast Five, where we just ask you don't have to answer fast.
Right.
We ask you a couple of fun, fast questions. So 3 dream dinner guests.
Hugh Jackman, if Princess Diana was alive, Princess Diana and Audrey Hepburn.
Oh, I love that. That would be a very classy and interesting dinner. And I think, looking at your beautiful fashion and your pearls, I think would you say that Princess Diana and Audrey Hepburn have been an influence in your life?
Oh, definitely.
Yeah, two absolutely beautiful women.
And the Queen, I mean, it could have 4, but the Queen and Princess Diana at the one table, probably not.
Yeah.
But, you know, how on earth could anyone not have her as a
I
role model?
know, yeah.
She's been just the most amazing
Wasn't
person.
she? Absolutely. Your favourite holiday destination in Australia or overseas, or both?
Coolangatta and Shanghai.
Oh, lovely. I love China. I've lived in China several times. How great is China? I
As
find
much as
China...
I hate to say that, or perhaps New York, either New York or Shanghai, and definitely Coolangatta.
Yep. Oh, wonderful. Coolangatta is definitely a beautiful place. Hidden gem of the Central West, or hidden gem of your region. This can be a person, a place, a restaurant, a cafe.
Oh, a hidden gem of our region. Oh, Hassan's Walls Lookout is pretty grand.
You know, it's really funny that you say that. That is on my list at the moment. I'd never heard of Hassan's Walls till I started working at RDA, and I'm really, really looking forward to. We were going to go to the glowworm tunnels and Hassan's Walls in one day. We got to Bathurst and my mum called me and said the glowworm tunnels are closed. In winter the road was closed or something. So that is something that I've heard is absolutely stunning as well, and I think more people need to know about it.
Yes, I think Hassan's Walls Lookout is an extraordinary lookout. And probably very underestimated.
Underestimated, totally. Favourite book or movie?
Oh, I could say Breakfast at Tiffany's.
Oh, lovely.
Do you know what I'm really enjoying at the moment? And I've watched very little TV, very little. But I force myself of a night, a couple of nights a week when I'm home, to watch The Crown.
Oh, I've heard it's really good.
I think, you know, whether you're a monarchist or a Republican, whatever religion you are, however old you are, however, you know, I think it's something that I've really learned a lot about our history.
Okay.
It's not just about the Queen or Princess Diana or the Duke of Edinburgh. It's a story that I think has needed to be told, and I've learned so much about the monarchy, but not so much the monarchy, our world history. And I think it's extremely good to watch. Disappointing in some ways and challenging, but the scene at what I watched the other night, I couldn't watch. It was about a lot of people getting shot in Russia, and you know, why would you connect that to the Queen? Well, it has a story behind it, and it really has opened my eyes up, and I've learned a lot about the history of the world. And it's
interesting.
Yeah, it is interesting.
Yeah, I think because some people aren't particularly interested in the monarchy, but as you said, I've got some friends watching it who aren't particularly interested in the monarchy, but saying it's such a great series and learning so much about history. Fantastic. Well, I'll definitely put that on my list. And lastly, what is your favourite quote or rule of life?
Oh, mums think a lot and say nothing.
Oh, I love that.
Or
yes,
Grace Under Fire.
Grace Under Fire. I love that too. I'll be walking away today remembering that. Thank you so much for being here today, Maree. We know how busy you are. We really appreciate you taking the time. It's been an absolute pleasure to talk to you.
Thank you.
Thank
Very
you.
welcome.